Hello BookTube, hello friends, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and in this video I'd like to show you the books that my local library book club is reading this year. Now I've already done a video about the books that my mystery book club is reading, and we have two separate book clubs at our library. Now it's mostly the same members across both clubs, but every once in a while we'll have a member who will join one or the other, and usually within the year they'll end up just joining both because it's just fun. And it's a lot of fun because we read some really good books, and a lot of times we end up choosing books that are older because we want to be able to have a library copy for everyone. That is not always the case. In fact, this year we have quite a few newer books. In fact, one of our books is not even going to be released until March 30th. Now, as I'm filming this, it is March 27th, I think, and I may not upload this for a few days, so it may already be out by the time you get this, but I don't want to postpone getting this video done any longer because I had a hard enough time as it is getting some of these books just to show you. Now, I know it's already the end of March and we've already read 3 of these. I'm still going to show you all 12, and if there are any of the future books that you are interested in reading and you want to read them with me or buddy read them or whatever, then let me know, and I would love that. Now, I may not wait until each month to get them read. I may go ahead and try to read ahead. In fact, the one we're supposed to be reading right now for April, I'm going to try to still fit it in for March. I may not, so we'll see. But anyway, I want to share with you the books, and just let me know what you think of them. If you've already read them, let me know if you enjoyed them or not. And if you haven't, if you're interested in reading them, let's chat about that as well. So our book clubs both make a bookmark that tells the name and author of the book as well as the date of that book club, like when it meets. And so this particular book club meets on the 3rd Thursday of every month, so that's here. And then let me just start with January, and I'll work my way all the way to December and show you what we're reading. Now, if you've been following me for a little while, you have already seen these first 3 because I have talked about them. The book we read for January is The Only Woman in the Room by Benedict. I really enjoyed this. Not everyone did, but I thought it was very interesting, and if you want to hear a little bit more about my thoughts, then you might want to go back to my January wrap-up or my Friday reads whenever I talked about it, and check it out. But just in a nutshell, it's about Hedy Lamarr and her experience first in the oh goodness, I can't even think now what country she was in. I guess Italy, and her husband had dealings with Hitler. She eventually was able to escape and get to the US, obviously, and become an actress, and she just had a very interesting life. Then later she invented some things that were used in the war, although she didn't get credit for them until after the fact, or maybe I am already forgetting. It's terrible when you read so many books that you can't keep the details straight. Anyway, she led a very interesting life, and I thought it was a very interesting book. Whether it's completely realistic or not, I don't know, but I thought it was very interesting. Another book I really enjoyed, The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek. Now, this book has been holding up this video because I've had all these others for at least a week now, and I had to wait until I could finally get a copy of this. And even this one is large print. There were just no copies available except e-copies, and I like to have the physical copy to show you. So this may not be the cover that you're familiar with, but this is about a woman in the Appalachians who was a part of the the library project that took books to the mountain people, and she was one of the blue people of Kentucky, and I just thought it was very interesting, and I learned a lot, and it was a tough book, but just a fantastic book, and I would highly recommend it. And then most recently I have read or listened to The Girl in White Gloves by Kerri Maher. This is a book about Grace Kelly, and I did not particularly enjoy this book. Now, I don't know, I guess the impression I had of Grace Kelly prior to this was maybe a little more innocent. This book did not portray her to be very innocent in as far as her romantic relationships and things like that. She apparently, according to this author, had quite a few romantic liaisons prior to meeting the prince and marrying him. So, you know, that being said, I don't know how realistic it was or not. I was not alive when all of that was happening, and I, of course, remember hearing about her. I think she died. Oh, goodness. See, I don't even have my facts straight in my head. Anyway, I just remember my mom talking about her, and you know, my mom enjoyed watching her as an actress in movies, and you know, it was certainly a fascinating story about going from, you know, being just an ordinary American, I suppose, to being a royalty. And I just didn't love the book. Well, it's hard to say why, but other than the fact that I feel like this author made too big of a deal about her romantic relationships, which, you know, maybe there were. She almost made it sound like there were more than that, and she just had to narrow it down to a few. And maybe that's true, maybe it isn't. But I think I would have been a little more interested in maybe learning more about her life as royalty, things like that, or maybe more about doing movies. There were some things about her with some of her co-stars and working with Hitchcock and things like that. But I don't know. I just didn't love it really at all. I think I rated it 3 stars. And then coming up, the book that we are reading right now is The Huntress. It's by Quinn. This is on Hoopla on audio if you are interested in reading this. I am going to try to squeeze this in the month of March, but I may not get to it. I do have it checked out on a playaway also. And I may, I don't know. So I may take that with me when I go to Texas for the Easter weekend, but I think I'm not going to take any library books with me. You know, God forbid something should happen. I don't want to have library books with me. I want to be able to have those turned in. Anyway, this is about, I don't know what it's about, actually. I don't. Our book club leader said that she's very excited about this. She's heard really good things. So hopefully it will be good. All right, now this one was tough to get a hold of as well. Anxious People by Frederick Backman. And I don't know anything about this. Someone else in our club has already read it, and she thought that it had some similarities to A Man Called Ove. So, you know, that was just according to her. I don't really know. But I did enjoy A Man Called Ove, so I think that, there's a good possibility that I will enjoy this one as well. And this one I am really looking forward to. In fact, my sister has been on a Lisa Wingate kick lately. Last year, we read the book about Georgia Tann and that whole conspiracy before, what was it? Before We Were Yours, I think is the name of it. And that was fantastic. So this year, I believe this book is completely unrelated to that. There is another book that is related to that we're reading later for November. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I have read also another trilogy by her, the Texas Cooking Trilogy. My sister's read several books by her now and has enjoyed them all. So I think this is going to be great. The Book of Lost Friends. So that is going to be for February, March, April, May, June. So for July, I'm not going to read the Spanish version, but this is literally the only version I could get in time for this video because it's such a popular book right now. This is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and I'm not going to be reading the Spanish version. I don't read Spanish, although if I had to understand Spanish, I think I could understand written Spanish better than spoken Spanish, that's for sure, because I can analyze the root words and sort of figure out some of the meaning. Anyway, I have never read a V.E. Schwab book. I don't know that I will love this. I'm not all that excited about it. I've heard some pretty good things about it, but I don't know if it's going to be for me, so we shall see. If you've read it, let me know what you think. And this one I'm also a little bit nervous about. This is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I've read The Night Circus and I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. So I don't know what I'm going to think about this one either. Let me know what you think. And then this one, though, I am kind of excited about. This one is our token Florida book for the year. It's The Last Train to Key West by Chanel Cleeton. This actually is book 3 in a trilogy or a series, and I am going to try to read the first 2 before we get to this one. The first one has something to do with Cuba. This one has something to do with a hurricane, I believe, and people being stuck in Key West during a hurricane. Just from what I remember about reading the back, which was a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago when I read the back. So anyway, I think this is going to be really good. I don't know anything about this author, but if you have ever read anything by her, or anything in the series especially, or if you've read this, let me know. And then we have one that is not even out yet, at least not at the time I'm filming this video. Now you're looking at this going, of course All the Girls is out. There's a new one. I've got a piece of tape here. Sunflower Sisters. Sunflower Sisters is the 3rd book in this series, and it is by Martha Hall Kelly. Now, we all know Lilac Girls is about 3 women in World War II. And then there was Lost Roses that is about 3 women in World War I. And then Sunflower Sisters, I'm going to assume it's going to follow the same formula, 3 women in and around the Civil War. So I am very excited about it. I liked this one pretty well. I didn't love it, and I didn't love Lost Roses, but I am more drawn to Civil War literature, I think, than either of the World Wars. So I have high hopes for Sunflower Sisters. Again, it's by Martha Hall Kelly. It's the 3rd book in this series, but it's goes farther back in time, and there is, I believe, some kind of historical connection between the characters from this and Lost Roses and Sunflower Sisters. So hopefully that one will be good. And then we have another one that I'm really excited about. For Nonfiction November, we're going to be reading Before and After. This is by Lisa Wingate and Julie Christie. This is real-life stories of people who were actually affected by the Georgia Tan scandal, the orphanage that happened. And Lisa Wingate wrote a novel about it called Before We Were Yours, which we read last year. I'm sure a lot of you have read it. And these are real stories. In fact, it says the incredible real-life stories of orphans who survived the Tennessee Children's Home Society. I feel like I just said Georgia. No, because Georgia Tan. Okay. I'm like, did I just tell them it took place in Georgia? I heard myself say Georgia, but Georgia Tan is the person. Tennessee Children's Home. Anyway, so I think this is going to be really good, and I'm looking forward to this. It's probably going to be tough, but I'm looking forward to it. This one I'm not especially looking forward to. Now, in years past, since we've started having 2 book clubs, we have read the same book for both clubs for December. This year we picked different books. And this one is going to be a straight-up romance, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't know if I'm going to like it. One Day in December, it's by Josie Silver, and I don't know anything about this author. I don't know anything about this book. And if you've ever heard of it or read it, let me know what you think, especially those of you out there who read a lot of romance. Have you heard of this one? Have you read it? Is it steamy? Let me know so that I can just let everyone else know going into it. A lot of them don't mind that, and some don't want that at all. So just let me know before we read this for book club what it's, kind of what the tone of it is going to be. Anyway, this is for December, and we shall see. So that is it. That is the books that we're reading for my book club for this year. And so far, nothing has fallen. If you saw my video the other day, I had a different set of books up here, and they literally fell twice. So, anyway, it helps that most of these are hardcovers, and I'm not putting that paperback back up there just in case. So let me know, like I said earlier, let me know if you would like to read any of these with me and when you would be available to do a buddy read. And if you've already read them, let me know what you thought. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.